Cleaning out hard-bound contacts isn't just good housekeeping. It's actually your best defense against a poor deliverability. Hard-bound email addresses basically will tell email service providers that your list is stale. And each one that you send to will chip away at that sender reputation. HubSpot is already pretty good at suppressing them, although they first have to bounce once before they actually get processed by HubSpot. But they can still mess with your reporting and of course also with your lists in general. Like, you might think that you have a list with a couple hundred people, but if like 50 people of those have hard bounced, that's actually something that you want to clean up. This way, your sales and marketing reports don't get cluttered with contacts that are no longer relevant. My name is Jasper. I'm a certified HubSpot consultant. Let me show you the 2-minute sweep. So the first way that I'm going to show you is by creating a list. So we'll navigate to CRM and then lists. We'll create a list here. This will be a contact list. I'll just quickly name this hard bounced. Usually you want to be a little bit more descriptive in here. Well, let's actually do it right. Contacts that have hard bounced. Then we'll go to contact properties. We'll search for hard bounce reason. And then we'll say is known. And now we'll get a list of all of the contacts in our CRM that have hard bounced. So we can see that there are a couple here, including like one test email address here. So that makes sense. We'll review and save this list. And now we have a good place to start to clean these up. One thing that you could do here is you could just select them all after you check them, click on more, and then just delete all of these contacts. That's one option. Another thing that you can do if you want to keep them in the system is you could create a custom property to mark them accordingly, although the hardbound property will already give you that data. And something else you could do is use this specific list to exclude from certain reports and of course from your email sends. Now, I'm also going to show you how you can create an automation to handle this. So for this, we'll go to automation and then workflows. We'll click on create workflow from scratch. And then we'll go to data changes and when a record meets a set of custom criteria. And this will also be when the hard bounce reason is known. So just to be clear, that first part, that was like the 2-minute sweep. This one will take a little bit longer, but it means that going forward, all of these hard bounced contacts will be handled appropriately. So we'll save this. The next thing we want to do, and this is a little bit of a pro tip, this is where the excellence comes in, and that's we want to create a branch and we want to filter on certain criteria. So for example, when we go to the hard bounce property, you can see that this has a couple of different reasons. Now, if it's about content or mailbox full, it might be that this actually gets resolved over time. If this is a policy, this might be that maybe your email address is getting blocked on the server side at the other end, which is of course not great. An email could also be marked as spam by the recipient, so that's definitely also good to know. And then in particular, I like this one, unknown user, which is a permanent error when the email address no longer exists at the other end. So for this one in particular, we'll create a separate branch. And then let's say that the other ones, we actually just want to remove them. It's a little bit different for every case, but of course you can create multiple branches here based on the different reasons that we get. Let's just create one other one for good measure. So let's say that for that one, we want to do policy or spam. So we'll select these two, and then anything else can go in there. We'll save this, and I will show you exactly why I made the difference between the different hard bounce reasons here. So for example, when it's an unknown user, this is actually a great signal that a person might no longer be at the company that they were at. So this is really valuable information for the contact owner of that contact. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a task and we're going to say, check if this contact is still at their current company. Well, let's say at their listed company. We'll create a task for that and then we'll assign it to the contact owner. You might want to add some additional notes here, for example. And then you could actually use the variable here, so we can save that. Now we want to do something similar here. So we'll clone this action and use this for policy or spam as well. So here I'll say check if this contact still wants to receive our emails. This is going to need to be a phone call since we can't reach them by email anymore. And then we can still add this contact as hard-bounced reason, and then they can see if that's spam or policy. But both of those would need to be resolved on the contact's end or the IT department at the contact. So we'll save that as well. And then let's, for this demo's sake, just say that if it's any other reason, we simply just want to remove that contact. We no longer want it in the system. Personally, I don't delete contacts that often in the system. So it really depends on like how you want to handle this. But just to show you that this is a possibility, this contact will get deleted if it's any of those other ones. Good to know here is that these contacts are recoverable for up to 90 days. So if a mistake happens there, you can always recover that contact afterwards. Now, one other thing that you want to do or might want to do is create a static list every now and then with these hard-bounced contacts. So you can keep track of a certain snapshot, certain moment in time, which hard-bounced contacts we had specifically then. For example, when sales reached out to any of these two in the first categories, they might be removed from hard-bounced going forward, and you can see if they were in the hard-bounced list before. And in general, doing a cleanup like this will keep your system clean, will make sure that sales is still going after the right people, and your email deliverability for marketing emails is protected. If you liked this video, I'm sure you will also like my video about how to use HubSpot's new lead scoring tool. I'll link it right up here. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.